Hi everybody, and welcome to In the Kitchen with Courtney. I'm your host, Courtney Robertson. And I don't know about you, but when the weather starts to change and it starts to get a little bit cooler, I start thinking about all things pumpkin. Pumpkin candles, pumpkin decorations, anything pumpkin. So today, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious, warm, cozy pumpkin pie. And it is so easy to make. So now we're going to get our pie plate ready and our crust ready to bake, just so that it doesn't puff up while the mixture is inside of it. It's called par baking. That's kind of a fancy word let's just bake this ahead of time. Okay, so I'm going to take just a little bit of flour. I'm going to rub it on my counter just so that my dough doesn't stick. I'm just using my hands to stretch it out a little bit just to make sure it fits in my pan. That looks like it'll fit. So now I'm going to spray my pan with cooking spray so that it doesn't stick. Now you just lift up the crust, just go around, press the sides, make sure they're all stuck to the sides of the pan. Make sure they're all pressed down there on the bottom. Beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to take my foil, okay? I always spray the bottom of my foil too because, well, just in case. I don't want it sticking to my pie. You're just going to lay it in there. Fold it up like a little pocket. Now, I'm going to take my beans, okay? I'm just going to dump them in there. Because the point of the beans is so that the dough doesn't rise up. They also have these things called pie weights. But I mean, why buy those when I got beans in my pantry? Okay, so now I'm going to put this in the oven. The oven's at 350 degrees. The same temperature that we're going to cook the pie at later, okay, for about 20 to 25 minutes. Let's get started on the filling. The best part about it is you dump everything in the bowl and you just need a whisk. So let's roll, people. Okay, you're going to dump in your 15 ounces of the plain pumpkin puree. There's also canned pumpkin pie filling, so don't buy that because we are using our own seasonings to flavor our pumpkin and it'll taste so much more fresh. Then 2/3 of a cup of sugar, 1 1/4 cups heavy cream, 1/2 of a teaspoon nutmeg, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs. Done. I just whisked this mixture until it was incorporated. Everything was incorporated, okay? You don't want to over mix your mixture because then it'll tend to get a little bit tough. Just mix until you see everything is mixed together. And I love this because you can see all of the delicious seasonings in it and the flavors, and it smells so good. It already smells good. You know it's going to taste good when it smells good. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this set aside until my crust is done. Okay, so now the crust has been baking for 20 minutes with the foil and the beans inside, okay? So now I'm going to take out the foil and the beans and just set it aside, and I'm going to cook the crust for about 10 minutes more so it gets a little bit more golden brown. Okay, so I just took the pie crust out of the oven. As you can see, it's a beautiful golden brown. So the first thing that we're gonna do is I took 1 egg, as I showed you in the beginning that we needed 3 eggs. 2 went into the filling, and 1 I cracked in my little ramekin, and I'm just gonna whisk it. And then I'm going to brush it onto my crust, just the outside portion of my crust. And I'm gonna sprinkle it with sugar so that it gets nice and delicious and sweet. Now we're going to pour our delicious batter into the pie crust, okay? It smells so good. Oh, it's like angels are singing or something. I'm not leaving anything in there, y'all. I can't, it's too delicious. So the next step is we're going to make little decorations for the top of our pie. We're gonna do the same process as we did in the beginning. We floured our surface. Okay, I'm gonna roll out another one of those amazing pre-bought pie crust doughs. I mean, if they're gonna do the work for me, I'm gonna let them. Here's a trick. Take your pie cutter. Let your kids help you with this, okay? I mean, let them get in on the action, right? Dunk this into your flour. Then it won't stick on you. Press it in there. I picked this one because it looks like a leaf, but knowing your kids, you'll end up with a Mickey Mouse or something. Then I'm just gonna lay that on my pie. Do another one. Lay that one on my pie. Kind of like these. I'm so not a decorator, but I like to think that I am. Now, I'm gonna take the egg that I used to decorate my crust, and I'm gonna put it on top of my decorations here. I'm gonna make those nice and golden too. If you have a shallow pie plate and you have extra filling, here's your extra dough. Pop it into a muffin tin. Make sure you spray the tin. Roll this up, make out some more little circles, and fill it with some pie filling. Personal pumpkin pies. Easy as that. So now we're gonna put this in the oven. It's at 350 degrees, and I'm gonna start it at probably 50 minutes. And I'm just looking for it to be golden and firm around the edges. The middle is still going to be jiggly. I don't want to keep cooking it until the middle is firm, or else it'll be overdone and dry. And you want a nice gooey consistency in a pumpkin pie. It is so beautiful and golden on top. When I first took it out of the oven, it was still really jiggly, but I knew it was done because of all the cracks in the top, okay? But now that it's been set out and it's been cooling for a little bit, it's still warm though. You can see that it has set up, meaning it's congealed, it's come together, okay? And now it's ready for us to eat. Now, over here, I've got some homemade whipped cream that you can watch one of my other videos to learn how to make. It's so simple and easy to do, and it just adds to the freshness of this pie, okay? So I'm gonna add a dollop of that on top. Even just cutting into it, you can tell how warm and just gooey it's gonna be. Oh my gosh. So I've got a beautiful slice of my pie here. I'm going to take a dollop of my fresh whipped cream that I've made, okay? I'm gonna taste. It's so warm and delicious, and you can really taste the flavors of the cinnamon and the nutmeg. Oh my gosh, it just feels like fall in your mouth. It's like a hug, you know? When you haven't seen somebody in a while and they come in and they just give you a big hug. Oh, that's what this pie feels like, and it's so easy to make. You guys, I hope you really enjoy this recipe. This is In the Kitchen with Courtney. I'll see you next time.
If you like my mom's videos, then please subscribe to her channel or press the like button.